Hey guys, Jungle Explorer here with a 4-camera side-by-side testing and review. What we have here is the Tougard T45, the Campark T45, the Campark T30, and the BlazeVideo Trail Cam. Now, I've already done individual reviews for all 4 of these. You can go to my channel, the Jungle Explorer, and look at the individual reviews for these cameras, or I'll put a little link up in the right hand corner that'll pop up right about now. You can click on that and you can go to my profile and look at all the videos of these individually. But what we're doing today is going to see if there's one that is better than the others. Is this one better than this one, whatever. So we're putting them side by side, same length, same height, same everything, pointing at my deer feeder, which is on the other side of the camera I'm filming with. And I'm going to let them sit out here for a month, and I'm going to let it capture videos of deers, pigs, turkeys, rabbits, rats, birds, doves, quail, turkeys, whatever that comes to the feeder. You're going to see it all. And then I'm going to come back in a month and I'm going to go through those pictures, pick out the best ones of each camera, and I'm going to show you the results. And you're going to tell for yourself whether one of these is better than the other, whether they're all the same. That's going to be up to you to decide. So it's going to take a month for me to do this, guys, so hold your horses. I'll be back in a month, but for you it will just be a flash. So alright, so we're back, and it's been 3 weeks since I set the cameras out, and we're going to go through and see what they did. So let's start off with the Campark T30. During the 3 work period, it took a total of 99 pictures, and 85 of which had animals in the picture, and 14 of which had nothing in the picture. Basically, I'm going to call that a false positive. It activated as if there was something there, and there was nothing in the screen. Now, sometimes a false positive can be caused by an animal that was in the screen moving out, and at the point in time that it triggers. All 4 cameras were set to take 1 picture and 1 video every 10-minute on 10-minute intervals. So if something happened during that 10 minutes right at the very end, sometimes that can occur. But we're just going to go with false positive for a picture that had no visible animals on screen. So 99 pictures in 3 weeks, 14 positive, 85 positive, there was a visible animal in the picture, 14 or false positives. Okay, now to the Tougard H45. In 3 weeks, it took 108 pictures, 100 of which were of animals, and 8 of which were false positives. There was a little bit something with the camera, a little glitch that caused some of those, and I'll talk about that later. But let's just go through the numbers real quick here. Now, this is the BlazeVideo Trail Cam. In 3 weeks, it took 354 pictures, 351 of which were of animals, 3 which were false positives. Now, that's a really good number, but I do have to say something. With this camera, something happened with it about 3 or 4 days into the testing. The manufacturer sent me a firmware update for it about 3 days after I set it out. Asked me to install it to fix an overexposure problem that was occurring at night. And so I took it out of the field, installed the firmware, and put it back in the field. I forgot to reset the settings on it. So instead of being at 10-minute intervals, it reset to 1-minute intervals. It was still taking 1 picture and 1 video, but it reset to 1-minute intervals, and it reset the date back to 2017. So I forgot to go back in and reprogram it after the firmware update. So that's why it got so many more pictures than the rest of the cameras. Okay, it doesn't mean that it actually did a better job as far as animals. It didn't have to wait 10 minutes to take a picture. So sometimes it took 2 or 3 pictures of the same exact animal that was under the feeder for 2, 3, or 4 minutes. Okay. All right. Now this is the Campark T45, And in 3 weeks, it took 152 pictures. 146 of those pictures were of animals, and there were 6 false positives. So the T45 took more pictures of more unique animals than the rest of the cameras, even though it has less than this one, but than the BlazeVideo, but it was on a 10-minute interval, and it caught 146 pictures of unique animals coming to the feeder. Okay, so let's run through some pictures here and give you some examples. Now, I took a lot of pictures. I mean, the cameras took a lot of pictures, so I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to basically give you 3 different pictures, samples, so that you can see them by. And basically, we're going to do bright daylight, middle of the day, nighttime, and cloudy day, or low light conditions. So that'll give you a good example of what they're doing. So let's start off with the Campark T30. I'm going to throw a picture up there. There's no animals in the picture, but this was a really good bright day picture when the light was really good. I'm just choosing these pictures because they're of the best lighting conditions, so it's going to show you the maximum ability of the camera to take photos. So now let's throw out the picture for the Campark T30. Okay, leave it up there for a little bit. And, you know, it's not a bad picture. It's an okay picture. One thing, just real quickly, notice that it's widescreen. The format's a little different. This one is more of a widescreen picture, a landscape picture, and these took more of what I would call a square box picture. So that was one thing that was different between all these cameras. This one was square box, was a landscape or widescreen. This was square box. Okay, all right. The rest of them were square box. So now let's go to the Tougard H45 and let you see that picture. It's a very good picture. Now you see a bird over on the right side of the screen. That is a whistling duck. You know, in all my years of dealing with game cameras, trail cameras, this is the first year I've ever had whistling ducks come to my feeders, so that's unique. That's a very good picture you see in there. The duck is visible. It's pretty nice. Okay, so now this is the BlazeVideo picture up here now, and it has the duck sitting on the ground in front there, but it's also a bright day. It's a very good picture. One thing, this is a 16 megapixel camera, but when I did the firmware update, it reset to 5 megapixels, so you're not seeing the full quality of ability of this camera, but it's still a pretty good picture at 5 megapixels. It's really hard on video to tell the difference, okay, guys? It just, when you take a picture and then you turn it into a video, it's really, you do lose some quality. So the pictures I'm actually seeing are better than what you're seeing on video if you just look at the raw picture. Okay, now let's go with the Campark T45, and this is a really great picture. Really, the whistling duck was real close to the camera, flying, and you're going to see on this picture a lot of detail. Now, this is a 16 megapixel camera. Let me go through the cameras real quick. 16 megapixel, 16 megapixel, 14 megapixel, and 8 megapixel. Okay. The picture here is just really clear. It's a very good picture. And take a look at the duck in particular. You can see its eyeball. The detail is very sharp. The color is the white balance or the color balance is very accurate. Very good picture, and really impressed with the Campark T45, how it stopped that duck in mid-flight right there. There's no blur or anything. So, okay, now that's your bright daylight picture. Let's go to your nighttime pictures. Okay, back to the Campark T30. We're looking at a nighttime picture of some deers underneath the feeder. Okay, and then you know, it's an okay picture, you know, but there you can see some graininess there. All right, now let's go to the Tougard H45. Now you can see that's a lot different. There's a much better, higher quality nighttime picture right there of some deer under the feeder. Let's go to the BlazeVideo now, and it is a very good picture. It's a decent picture there. Not as good as the Campark T45. I'm sorry, the Campark H45. Now let's go to this is the Tougard H45. I keep getting these backwards, okay? Now this is the Campark T45. Throw that up there, and that's also a very nice nighttime picture, okay? Alright, now let's go to the cloudy day picture. Alright, so a bad storm came through and blew my feeder over. It actually destroyed it. I had to replace it with a different feeder. But this was when I first went out there. My dog is following me around, so this is a cloudy day picture. We'll go to the Campark T30. Alright, you can see that picture there. It's kind of dark and the color is not really good on it. Okay, let's go to the Tougard H45. Much better picture. You know, much more realistic, much more fine detail. Let's go to the BlazeVideo now. Okay, so there you go. That's not a bad picture. It's pretty decent. The dog was in a different place. Remember, these were all firing about the same time. This one was firing in 1 minute intervals, so it didn't always catch the same time as these here. Now let's go to the Campark T45, and you know, it's a pretty decent picture for a cloudy day. Low light conditions without the infrared illuminators. Okay, so that's good. Now let's go through some video tests. Okay, so again, we're going to try to shoot at the same time where the ducks were there in the daytime. It's summertime now, and there's not a whole lot of animals out in the daytime coming to the feeders, but those ducks were coming. So let's go to the Campark T30. It didn't actually catch any video of the ducks, so I'm just shooting blue sky there. And let's go to the Tougard H45. There's the video of that, approximately the same time of day. Now let's go to the BlazeVideo. And again, a bright daylight. Okay, and now to the Campark T45. And so those are all bright day videos to show you the best quality they're going to be on bright day. Now, all cameras were set to 1080p quality resolution. Alright, now let's do the nighttime test. Let's go with the Campark T30 nighttime deer underneath the feeders. And you know, this is where you see a big, huge difference. You can tell that they're deer, but it's very dark and it's very grainy. Let's go with now the Tougard H45. Deer under the feeder at night. A much better quality video. Much more detail, much more, you know, just very better exposure. Now let's go with the BlazeVideo. Deer under the feeder at night, and it's pretty decent video. It's not as good as the H45, but it is very good video, or decent video. Now let's go with the Campark T45. And again, we have some really good nighttime, night vision video, very, very clear. Okay, so now we're done with those video samples. One other thing I want to talk about is microphones. This camera, this camera, and this camera, the T30, the H45, and the T45 all have microphones so they can record audio. The BlazeVideo does not have a microphone, but there was a point in time when I was repairing the stuff. I drove up in my ATV, and so it's going to give you a chance to hear the difference in audio from the different cameras or the mic. Sound recording capability. So on this one, I'm going to go with the T45 first, and you're just going to see me pulling up in my ATV and stopping, so you'll hear the motor running there. Okay, and now the H45. And now the T30. Okay, so you see that although these do record audio, it is very, very minor. It has to be pretty loud for them to pick it up, and it's very muffled. the actual T30 has an excellent microphone. It's picking up the wind, and it's picking up sound very loud, normal, like it sounds there. And if you look right here on the bottom of it, it has a little hole, and that's allowing the sound to get in, whereas these do not have that hole, so they're recording through the case. So it has a penetration here that's allowing sound to get in, whereas these don't, and that's why it's recording better audio than these here. Okay, so the sound quality on this one's pretty good. Alright, now the BlazeVideo doesn't have any sound, but I'm going to throw the video up there anyways because it's a very good video, so let me throw it up there. It'll be silent. Okay, but if you look at the quality of that video, it's very good daytime video. The BlazeVideo here takes very good daytime video. Its nighttime video is not quite as good, but it is very good daytime video, very high quality there. So, alright, so there you saw the examples and how they did. Now let's talk about some of the positives or the pros and cons of each camera. Let's start with the Campark T30 here. The Campark T30 took less pictures of animals than the rest of them. It missed a lot of animals that the other threes caught, and so we're going to say it's the loser as far as detection of animals. It only took 99 pictures in the 3-week period of time, and it missed quite a few animals that the other cameras caught, so I know they were there. Alright, so we're going to say that's the loser on that. Another thing happened with it, it had water penetration into it. Water got into the lens, and so a lot of the pictures, even the 99, I would say at least 20 of them, had fog on the lens where water got in as a result of the bad storms we had. This is the second time I've had water penetration into this unit, and I don't know, but it might have something to do with this hole down here that allows the sound in, because I didn't get no water penetration on any of the other ones. Eventually the sun would dry it out and it would clear up. I don't know if that had anything to do with the missing or the lack of detection of some of the animals, because it appeared that whenever it was fogged up with water in it, that it didn't really pick up a lot of animals during that period of time. So that might have had something to do with the detection, but you know, it had the most false positives now of all the cameras, and it had the lowest quality videos and pictures. So this one is pretty much the overall loser on this test. The only positive about it is it has the best microphone. Okay, the Tougard H45. It had really good pictures and video, very high quality. Very good at that. Its detection was pretty good. It wasn't quite as good as the T45. It only picked up 108 pictures, and it missed a few that the T45 caught, but it only had 8 false positives on it. Okay, the one thing with the Tougard H45 is it has a glitch in that it has a low battery alarm. Even though all 4 of the cameras started out with a fresh set of AA batteries, within a couple of days at night it had 5 pictures. 5 of the false positive of the 8 false positives that I got on the H45 were nighttime pictures that were black and had a big red low battery warning on them. Well, we know the batteries were brand new. I tested them all, and so it didn't. And the batteries are still almost fully charged on it after 3 weeks, registering 1.44 volts. But it still had 5 pictures that came up low battery, and it didn't turn the infrared illuminators on during those pictures. Of course, the next day it took pictures just fine, so there's a glitch there with that. Outside of that, it did pretty good on photos and videos. I don't know if it's just a lemon or if that's something in the programming. Let's go to the BlazeVideo now. The BlazeVideo, like I said, it's hard to judge it exactly because I did the firmware reset after about 3 days being out in the field. And some things, you know, like I said, took more pictures because of the 1-minute intervals, but it did have a glitch on it too, in that it was set to take 1 picture and 1 video for each actuation, or each time an animal moved in front of it, and it turned on. But I ended up at the end of 3 weeks with twice as many pictures as video, which means that half of the time it did not take a video, even though it was set to take a video every time it took a picture. So I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to write the manufacturer and see if they might fix that in a firmware update. They seem to be pretty on top of things, and I'm helping them work out the issues with this camera, and they did send me a firmware update that fixed this camera. Now, the nighttime pictures before the firmware update were way overexposed, and the video was not that good. So the firmware update did help that a lot. The pictures were not nearly overexposed at night, and I was getting a lot more false positives. The positive thing about the BlazeVideo is out of 354 pictures, it only had 3 false positives. So it takes the award for the least amount of false positives or taking pictures when nothing's in there. So that means that sensors and everything were working pretty good, and that was fixed by the firmware update. Okay, and of course one of the cons is it has no microphone at all. So you know, that's another con for it if you're looking for a camera that has audio recording capabilities. Okay, now I'll go to the T45. Positives on it is that it was the best pictures and video overall. Again, it's hard to judge the BlazeVideo because it was only set to 5 megapixels, but the Campark T45 did have the best quality pictures, the best quality videos of all 4 of the cameras, and it had the most efficient battery use. It took more pictures than the T30 and the H45, but the batteries, I measured all the batteries after the test was done, and it had the highest remaining battery voltage on the batteries on the T45, so it was the most efficient use of batteries. Okay, the only negative with the T45 was there was one animal that came to the feeder that these 3 cameras caught and it didn't catch, and it was a black cat in the daytime. A feral cat walked by twice. All 3 of these caught the black cat, but it did not. But the T45 did not catch the black cat on both times that the black cat came to the feeder in the daytime. And so that was one thing. I'm not sure why that happened. It could have been just, you know, because they were set to take pictures on 10-minute intervals. The cat might have passed through during a time that it was in a 10-minute lag, and it couldn't take a picture, even though I detected it. But I'm going to mention it because that is something that I noticed. Other than that, there were no glitches or failures or anything, and it did take quite a few more pictures of real animals that came, the ducks and other animals that came to the feeders that all the rest of the 3 cameras miss. So it had more animals, more unique times of the day than the rest of them, but it did miss the black cat. Okay. Well, there you go. I've shown you the pictures, I've shown you the videos, and I've talked about the pros and cons of these. The winner of this trail camera showdown is the Campark T45. It had the best quality of videos. It had the best, most efficient use of battery, the best quality of detection and everything. The second to come in, I'm going to say, is the BlazeVideo, simply because it had the least false positives, and it had, you know, the good quality daytime video, even though its nighttime pictures and video are not quite as good as the H45. The H45 did have that low battery glitch, so that just knocked it down below the BlazeVideo. And then obviously the Campark T30 was just the overall loser for glitchiness, camera detection, and quality of video and pictures. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you want to help my channel out and grow, please share my videos or my channel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'd appreciate you helping me out there. It's fun to do these reviews for you, but it is a lot of work, and it is some expense and money on my time, and I need to recuperate that. So helping me get more views and subscribers does help me in that area. I appreciate it. So please like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, this is the Jungle Explorer signing out.